Hey Skull Nation, grab your horns, hold on to your purple jerseys, and prepare yourselves, because what I'm about to drop on you will shake the very foundations of US Bank Stadium. We've got three earth-shattering developments hitting the Minnesota Vikings organization simultaneously. And trust me, you're not ready for what's coming. Picture this, your beloved franchise is standing at the edge of greatness, teetering between championship glory and catastrophic failure. We're talking about a young quarterback whose every throw could determine our destiny, a coaching mastermind who's being criminally overlooked despite his incredible track record, and a defensive move so bold it could either catapult us to Super Bowl contention or drain our salary cap into oblivion. Skull Nation, we're talking about decisions that will echo through the halls of Viking lore for generations. The front office is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. But are they making the right moves? The pressure is mounting. The stakes couldn't be higher. And every single choice made in the next few weeks will determine whether we're hoisting the Lombardi Trophy or watching from our couches again. Hit that like button if you're ready to dive into this Vikings chaos. Drop a comment telling me if you think our franchise is making championship moves or setting us up for heartbreak. And smash that subscribe button because Skull Nation needs to stick together through whatever storm is coming. But here's the kicker that'll make your blood run cold. Our entire season hinges on one 22-year-old signal caller who's never taken a meaningful NFL snap, and the experts are calling it our biggest red flag. Are you ready to find out why our championship dreams might be built on quicksand? Skull Nation, meet your franchise's make-or-break player, J.J. McCarthy. That's right, the 22-year-old quarterback who holds our entire 2025 season in his untested hands, and CBS Sports just dropped a bomb that has every Vikings fan questioning everything. Here's the brutal truth that's keeping Kevin O'Connell up at night. We just witnessed Sam Darnold throw for 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns in a magical 14-3 season that had us believing in miracles again. But now we're handing the keys to the kingdom to a kid who's never faced an NFL pass rush, never felt the pressure of 70,000 screaming fans, and never had to perform when everything is on the line. CBS Sports' Cody Benjamin just delivered the reality check that no one in Skull Nation wanted to hear, calling our quarterback uncertainty the team's biggest red flag heading into 2025. He didn't pull any punches. It's rare you find a team so equipped for a deep playoff run, yet without so much as a morsel of certainty under center. Think about that for a second, Skull Nation. We've got Justin Jefferson on a Hall of Fame trajectory, Jordan Addison ready to explode, TJ Hawkinson creating matchup nightmares, and an offensive line that's finally been fortified. We've got all the weapons a quarterback could dream of, but we're betting everything on a player who has zero real NFL snaps under his belt. But here's where it gets really intense. J.J. McCarthy isn't just expected to be decent. He's expected to replace Pro Bowl production. For most rookie quarterbacks, throwing 20 touchdowns and 3,500 yards would be considered a successful debut. In Minnesota, that would be a massive downgrade from what Darnold gave us. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler dropped some hope into our worried hearts, reporting that the Vikings feel McCarthy has shown tremendous improvement through the first 9 days of off-season workouts. Coming off his knee issue, they love how he's throwing the ball and feel comfortable heading into training camp. But is that enough when we're facing not only a difficult schedule, but inflated expectations from fans who watched magic happen just 1 year ago? The optimists in Skull Nation are clinging to one beautiful comparison. Patrick Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns in his first year as a starter. ESPN's Dan Orlovsky believes McCarthy can replicate Darnold's success, saying Minnesota is the easiest place in the NFL to play quarterback this year, with the best offensive roster in the league and Kevin O'Connell's quarterback whispering abilities. But that leads us to our next shocking revelation about our beloved head coach. And trust me, what I'm about to tell you will make your purple blood boil. Skull Nation, prepare to be absolutely furious. Our championship-caliber head coach, Kevin O'Connell, just got the most disrespectful snub in recent memory. And it's time we address the criminal undervaluation of the mastermind who transformed our franchise. Pro Football Focus just released their top 10 returning head coaches list, and somehow they left Kevin O'Connell completely off the list. The man who's compiled a 34-17 regular season record turned reclamation projects into Pro Bowlers, and elevated every quarterback who's touched his system, completely ignored. Let's break down this absolute travesty, Skol Nation. Kevin O'Connell has done nothing but win since arriving in Minneapolis. He took a franchise that was stuck in mediocrity and turned us into legitimate contenders almost overnight. He made Sam Darnold, a quarterback who was considered a bust by most of the league, into a Pro Bowl performer with 35 touchdowns. This is the same Kevin O'Connell who has the Minnesota nice optimism combined with the tactical brilliance that maximizes every single player on his roster. We're talking about a coach who inherited a team in transition and immediately turned us into playoff contenders while developing one of the most explosive offenses in the entire NFL. But here's the painful truth that's keeping O'Connell off these prestigious lists. He hasn't won a playoff game yet. That's it. That's the only thing standing between our brilliant head coach and the recognition he deserves. Despite elevating quarterbacks to their highest form, despite turning our offense into a juggernaut, despite compiling one of the best regular season records in recent Vikings history, no playoff victories means no respect. The frustrating part for Skol Nation is that some of our playoff struggles have been due to injuries and the fact that we were in the middle of Kwesi Adofo-Mensah's competitive rebuild. O'Connell has been working with different pieces every season, adapting his system, and still finding ways to win. But mark my words, Skol Nation, when Kevin O'Connell finally breaks through in the playoffs and with J.J. McCarthy developing under his tutelage, these same analysts will be falling over themselves to crown him as one of the league's elite coaches. The foundation is there, the system is proven, and the talent is undeniable. Speaking of undeniable talent and bold moves, our front office just identified a defensive acquisition that could either launch us to Super Bowl glory or create salary cap chaos for years to come. Skol Nation, hold on to your seats, because Kwesi Adofo-Mensah might be about to pull off the most audacious trade in recent Vikings history. We're talking about acquiring three-time All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey from the Miami Dolphins. And the implications are absolutely staggering. Here's the situation that has our secondary on the brink of transformation. We invested heavily in Byron Murphy Jr., dropping $54 million over 3 years to secure our CB1. But with Shaq Griffin joining Seattle and Stephon Gilmore still unsigned, we're looking at Isaiah Rodgers as our CB2, a player who missed the entire 2023 season due to gambling violations and has started only 13 NFL games in his career. Enter Jalen Ramsey, the 7-time Pro Bowler who's ready to leave Miami. Tyler Forness from A to Z Sports just declared that the Vikings could easily complete a trade for the elite cornerback, with the likely compensation being a mid-round pick that we absolutely have available. But here's where this gets absolutely wild, Skol Nation. Ramsey just signed a 3-year extension worth over $72 million and is locked up for the next 4 seasons. We're talking about adding a shutdown corner who could transform our defense overnight, but at what cost? The immediate impact would be incredible. Picture Jalen Ramsey locking down opposing number 1 receivers while Byron Murphy Jr. handles the second option. Our defense would instantly become one of the most feared secondaries in the entire NFL. Brian Flores would have the pieces to create defensive chaos that could carry us deep into the playoffs. But here's the salary cap reality check that should terrify every Vikings fan. We currently have $23.5 million in cap space, which is enough to absorb Ramsey's 2025 hit. However, we're facing a $60 million salary cap deficit in 2026, and Ramsey's contract escalates significantly, potentially increasing our deficit by 30%. Meanwhile, Isaiah Rodgers is fighting for his NFL life, trying to prove he can be a reliable CB2 after his gambling suspension and limited starting experience. Mickey Blackmon is returning from a torn ACL that cost him the entire 2024 season. Are these the players we trust to protect our Super Bowl dreams? The chess match is real. Skol Nation, do we make the bold move for Jalen Ramsey and worry about the salary cap consequences later? Do we trust our current corners to step up when everything's on the line? Or do we pursue a safer option, like bringing back Stephon Gilmore on another 1-year deal? Smash that like button if you want to see the Vikings go all in for Jalen Ramsey. Drop a comment telling me if you think we should trade for the All-Pro or trust our young corners. And subscribe because Skol Nation needs to stay united as we navigate these franchise-defining decisions. This is it, Skol Nation, the crossroads that will determine our 2025 destiny. We've got a 22-year-old quarterback carrying championship expectations, a brilliant head coach fighting for respect, and a potential blockbuster trade that could either complete our Super Bowl puzzle or create long-term financial chaos. Are we ready to bet everything on J.J. McCarthy's arm, Kevin O'Connell's system, and a defensive gamble that could define the next decade of Vikings football? The next few weeks will answer everything, and Skol Nation better be ready for the ride of our lives. What do you think? Are we building a championship team or setting ourselves up for heartbreak? Let me know in the comments below. Skol Vikings, let's ride!